Hi. So if you are just randomly stumbling across this video and you don't know who I am, my name is Aiden, and I am an energy worker. That's really the easiest way to describe what it is that I do. Of course, just like everyone else, we are multi-faceted, multi-talented, we're multi. So that's who I am and that's what I do. And I'm really just drawn to do this quick video today, quick maybe, about empathy or being an empath and being described as empathic. If you don't know what that is, you should probably Google it if you're interested. I'll tell you what I think it is, and it's how I identify. And it's somebody who feels the pain and emotions and also the good stuff from other people, and sometimes has problems deciphering between their own energy and the energy of other people. And so what I've noticed is that in the past probably year and a half, many people are identifying as being an empath. And that's likely due to the awareness that we are developing more and more about energy and energetics, and also likely because of the 2020, 2021 global tumultuous energies of a pandemic, among many other things. And so if you didn't identify as being sensitive before, perhaps you do now. Because there is something about going through things globally that fires up all of our engines. So I used to think that being sensitive and being empathic was a bit of a curse. That's certainly not how I feel anymore at all, and haven't for a very long time. There is, just like any other thing, there is some management that I do to ensure that I'm able to show up in the way that I want to show up for my family and myself. And so the biggest thing for me has been deciphering between whether the energy that I feel is mine or someone else's. And I'll tell you, if I get to the point where I realize or whatever that the energy is not mine, that's not like my end goal is not, okay, perfect, it's not mine, now I can get rid of it. I'm here to do some energy management for people. That's what I know that I am here to do. And so on the back end, I work through all of that and I send it out. And that's my process. I'm not going to go into details about what it is that I do with energy processing, but what I do want to go into a little bit of depth is just getting to that point of, is this mine or somebody else's? Because that is incredibly empowering when you are struggling with these waves that can come in. So you're going about your day, and perhaps, okay, so many people are working from home these days, so perhaps you're working from home and maybe you're all alone in your house, or maybe your kids are virtual learning upstairs or whatever it is, but there's nobody really like physically in your space. And maybe you're not on a Zoom call and you're going about your day and a wave comes in of maybe doom, maybe this wave of anxiety, and perhaps you're not somebody who would identify as being anxious or having any sort of anxiety issue that you're working with, or maybe you are. Perhaps like a deep irritability comes in out of nowhere. It could also be elation or joy, but we don't tend to care about that. We just are happy to be feeling that way. It's the other stuff that almost makes us panic a little because where did this come from? Everything was going okay. And then it's like a spiral of doom. I guess I'm using the word doom today. So there are things we can do on the regular when we're sensitive to, and I'm saying sensitive in like a really awesome way. Being energetically sensitive is like so wonderful. I don't know what it would look like if I wasn't. So I'm not saying that in perhaps the way that you're hearing it, because many people have such a negative connotation with that word. So just know that that's not how I'm saying it. But if you're hearing it that way, then maybe you should explore that. Okay, so back to where I was. On the daily, there's things that you can do just to keep your energy clear. And probably the most accessible thing would be grounding. So people like me, empathic people, run the risk of false grounding. And what false grounding is, could be eating when you're not hungry, drinking too much alcohol, substances, numbing out with television, or like scrolling. There's something I'm not quite... immersing yourself in other people's situations. So like getting into the drama of somebody else's stuff, and kind of working, like commiserating with somebody about something crappy. So those would all be examples from my real life of false grounding. And so I'm not talking about numbing out, because that's what those things are. And I have tried them all. And I'm talking about real grounding. So just knowing the difference between false grounding and grounding is super important, because sometimes the numbing out can make you feel grounded. So, sidebar tangent. So grounding is very accessible to people, but when you're in the thick of it, or when you're just go, it's also like the easiest thing to just not do. It's kind of like the idea that exercise is very good for us, but often we don't do it. It's kind of simple like that for a variety of reasons. So grounding, for me, the easiest thing, and I have a backyard, so I'm able to do this. I know not everybody has access to grass. So the easiest thing for me would be to walk outside, feet on the ground, and you can ground through shoes too, but feet on the ground, and just like, I don't know, 6 to 10 really deep breaths in which I'm breathing in through the bottom of my feet and sending my breath down through the bottom of my feet. When people talk about grounding, it could be as simple as that. Another example of grounding would just be going for a walk. Another example of grounding would be sitting in a chair in your apartment or your house or your room, and envisioning that with every breath, let's say you're sitting on your butt on the floor, with every breath, roots are coming out of your body, so maybe on your sit bones or from your tailbone, and they're traveling through. Maybe if you live on the 24th floor, they're traveling through all 24 floors, tunneling deep down and tethering you to the core of the earth. And just, it's as simple as kind of watching that channel happen. Grounding can be meditating. It can be exercising. It could be drinking a really big glass of water thoughtfully. So all of those things. And that's a regular thing that an empath could do to kind of keep the energies clear, or anyone can do, but I'm talking about empaths. So there's that. And then there would be using different tools. So many people find crystals to be helpful, using crystals. And there are lots of people who could tell you lots of things about types of crystals, but really it is going to come down to what you're drawn to when you're standing in front of all the crystals at the crystal store. Another thing would be using different smoke clearing techniques. So like burning white sage or cedar or whatever it is that you're drawn to burn, and kind of doing your aura. Another thing could be energy work, and you don't have to be somebody who calls themselves an energy worker to do that, but hands stacked on your heart and doing a channel of breath from the palm of your hand into your heart. So those are just some things that you can do on the regular to keep your energy clear. But you're back on your computer, you're working from home, that wave of doom comes over you, and you just think, oh my God, what is about to happen? This feels terrible. Chances are you're picking up on the energy of somebody else. They don't need to be right beside you. And maybe it is your own doom, but chances are you're picking up on the energy of somebody else, or something big that's going on. And so what I do when that happens, if I've chosen to do the right thing for myself, instead of some false grounding that I can fall into, I would plant my feet on the floor. And I'm like a big physical person, so I would put both of my hands right on my solar plexus. And so your solar plexus is right below your breastbone into your ribs. And I would say, is this energy mine? Or is it someone else's? Give yourself a minute, but the idea is that you'll get your answer pretty quick. And because you're empathic, you get your answers very physically in your body. So if that works and you feel like you get a clear message that this is not your own energy, and maybe you're hearing that message, maybe you're feeling it in your body, maybe it's just a deep knowing, maybe even checking in like that has helped you so much that you now know it's not yours, and that division might be enough. It might feel way better. And maybe if you haven't received that division, you could try using your body as a pendulum. And I did a video on that way back last year, so you can scroll through and you'll see it, or just Google it. You can use like an actual pendulum, a crystal pendulum, to see, is this mine or somebody else's? There are many things you can do, but then if it is somebody else's, and if naming that it's somebody else's is enough to bring you a bit of peace, great. And if it's not, then you could use some of the techniques that I just talked about that you should be using on the daily. Gross word, but you get what I'm saying, on the daily to help with that division. Yeah, and so with any of this stuff, I am just Aiden, who has, from getting ideas from other people I trust, and through my own intuition, has come up with my little plan for what it is that I do. Not all of this is going to resonate with you, and that's like, how beautiful is that? How beautiful is it that not all of this is going to resonate with you, because you are your own person. But our energies are generally really connected in ways that we can't even fathom. And I truly believe that that is one of the absolute joys of life. I don't believe that we are here to be in a shield. there have been times where I shield my energy, and I do it very deliberately. But I know that I'm here to feel lots of feelings, and I have made absolute peace with that. And I hope that you find peace with whatever it is you've decided is good for your energy system. Okay, that was a lot of chatter, but it was meaningful chatter. And now I'm going to pull a card for anyone who feels drawn to receive this message right now. And I'm using the Sacred Forest Oracle. It fell on my lap, from Denise Lynn. It's her new oracle deck, and it's really, really beautiful. I feel like it's going to be backwards, yeah, but it's a really good deck. And so we got, it fell in my lap, Frog Spirit, renewal. Pretty interesting topic for what we were just talking about. And the number of the card is 20, so that would be a 2, because you always add up the numbers to get down to like a base number. And I'm not gonna get into 2s and what that means, but maybe it means something for you. Okay. The frog's 3 stages of development, egg, tadpole, fully formed amphibian, symbolize renewal, resurrection, and transformation. This card speaks of a profound restoration of your life that is occurring. It's never too late to begin again. If your past was less than successful, remember this: what has occurred does not need to mandate what will occur. You can start out fresh and new. However, if you do what you have always done, you'll get what you have always gotten. In order to reboot your life, you need to do things in a different way. Abounding good luck is activated and awaiting you. Reflect on the varying symbolism of the frog in different cultural traditions and see if any meanings resonate for you at this time. In ancient Egypt, the frog symbolized birth and rebirth. In certain Native American traditions, frog medicine is healing by virtue of its transformative life. Ancient Celts believed frogs represented healing because of its connection with water and the way that it transforms from tadpole to adult. In China, the frog is a powerful symbol of prosperity, healthy childbirth, and good luck. The spirit of the frog says, be willing to release any preconceived notions of how life should unfold. This is a time to be adaptable. Be willing to change. Abundance and good fortune will follow. All right, everyone. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope that you're able to find joy in your day today. Thanks so much.